Thanks for joining us. I'm Camry Silv.
And I'm Shayla Lang. Think about this. How does gumbo look and taste without Louisiana shrimp? I spoke with some Louisiana shrimpers who are growing frustrated with a lack of political support to fix their problems with foreign imports.
I got $2.40 for them shrimp 15 years ago. Right now it's $1.10. It can't balance out. And it can't keep going like that, you know. Me, I don't care.
Jimmy Dupre Sr. is a third-generation Louisiana shrimper who has been trawling for 62 years. Dupre and other older shrimpers see a problem with the shrimping lifestyle.
And if you go on strike, then I can run out of shrimp. They're going to import more. They're still going to put the shrimp on the market.
Louisiana shrimpers have asked for assistance from President Trump himself and was granted a tariff on imported seafood, but shrimp was not included on the list.
So we done that. We went through all that, finally got a tariff tax passed. Processors wound up with all the money. I collected $2,400 off that tariff tax. They collected $5 to $6 million, and it was made for us, but we didn't get the money.
After a costly battle in legal fees in 2014 with the Department of Commerce and International Trade Commission, it was discovered that China and other nations were dumping shrimp into Louisiana. I spoke with Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser about the issue.
We don't want to get involved in the tariffs. We want to inspect more of the imported seafood. We inspect less than 1%, and much of that is rejected. They chock it full of antibiotics.
The Lieutenant Governor plans to take matters into his own hands about the shrimp being imported into Louisiana. The plan includes a fee that will be charged to inspect the shrimp to make sure there's no chemicals.
Our plan is to pass a resolution in every council in the state demanding that the federal government impose a 10 cents a pound import inspection fee. We've also got to make Louisianans and the rest of the country realize it's a safety issue.
In late August, a 55-cent raise for shrimpers ended the talk of a possible strike, but considerable problems remain, such as the price of fuel and the flood of cheap imported shrimp that is hurting the Louisiana shrimp industry.
Time for action, not talk. And I felt like if we could get all of Louisiana saying this is what we want, we got a better chance of getting action in Congress.
Louisiana shrimpers like Dupre believe change cannot come fast enough. But on the other hand, he does not plan on tying his boat, T-Turbo, up anytime soon. For Acadiana News 1, I'm Shayla Lang.
Just Google police officers using excessive force and you'll definitely find several cell phone videos of some officers abusing their authority. But as Ethan Dumas reports, one Opelousas officer is committed to changing the public's perception of law and order, one good deed at a time.
This neighborhood up ahead. See if we can make some people smile over there.
Opelousas officer Garrick is in his 8th year of law enforcement.
TV show Chips. I like motorcycles, and I also like cops, so motorcycle cop, Chips.
He hasn't forgotten what it was like being on the other side of the badge.
Where I'm from, you have good cops and bad cops just like everywhere else, so you talk to the good cops and you try to avoid the bad cops.
Garrick patrols, protects, and services, determined to build trust.
You just gotta create a friendship with them, and then they'll know you as a person and not just as a badge.
Garrick's strategy of interacting with the community is not going unnoticed.
You find your quarter and you actually know how to do your job.
I appreciate that.
Officer Garrick believes that not all encounters with cops should be a negative one.
I put on events in Opelousas, basketball tournaments. I volunteer at the schools, so I'm always dealing with youth.
Most of his acts of kindness are during his 12-hour shift, where Garrick responds to emergencies and enforces the law, while showing and not just telling the community they can trust police.
Some cops actually care.
I'm Ethan Dumas with photographer Merlin George for Acadiana News 1.
Officer Garrick says just being friendly can help any cop.
From answering calls to guiding youth during and after school, how and why does a Lafayette firefighter balance 3 jobs? Emma Lacy has the story.
Nathan Bro, loves being a firefighter, mainly because he helps people in their time of need.
To be there for that person when there's no one else around, to be there to rescue their property or a loved one or pet.
The 7-year veteran is also a school bus driver.
Most every fireman has a part-time job, so I've been having my CDL for about almost 20 years now, so I was trying to think of what career also I could add to what I'm doing.
Adding to those titles is another calling Bro embraces.
I work in the 11 to 13-year-old children's church, and also my wife and myself are marriage facilitators for the marriage ministry.
As much as Bro stays busy, giving to the community, wearing 3 hats, he's getting something in return.
It's important to be involved in other things because it could open up doors, doing things outside of work that'll teach you to be a leader on the job.
Regardless of the job, Bro's focus is always the community first. For Acadiana News 1, I'm Lacy.
Nathan Bro says he goes to work every day with a clear mind, positive attitude, and ready to do his job.
Coming up, see how one organization is aiding the local community and learn how a teenager homeschooled in Lafayette is helping kids in another country. Stay with us.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
45 over 92.
180 over 111.
I had a heart attack, a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a heart attack or stroke are far from invisible or silent. Get back on your plan or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
It takes strength, stability, and teamwork to build a home. Habitat for Humanity is assisting people who cannot afford market pricing housing by building them affordable homes. I'm here at Georgia Street, where Habitat for Humanity workers and volunteers come together to construct the next set of houses for families in need. Future homeowners work side by side with volunteers like Brooke Bodwin, becoming a construction worker while being a client.
They work with you, so if you're volunteering and you're spending time working on their houses, they're doing the same things.
Volunteers do everything from building the structure to beautifying the exterior.
It's really cool when you're like towards the end and you're like painting and putting in floors because it looks like a house now and it doesn't just look like a skeleton of a house.
Another way people help out is by working at Habitat's Restore, where volunteers such as Shelby Sake accept household donations, then sell them for a discounted price.
Anything that gets sold in the Restore, all of that money gets immediately put back into our Habitat Fund, and that can go towards us buying building materials and other things to put back into our homeowners' new houses.
Her favorite part is giving back.
It's one thing to help the homeless, but it's another thing to help those people who work their butts off day in and day out. So for us to be able to be that help, for them to just kind of like get back on their feet, it's really special.
For Acadiana News 1, I'm Carly Waldweiler. For information about how you can give back, visit habitat.org.
I'm sure by building those houses, Habitat for Humanity has put plenty of smiles on plenty of people's faces.
You're right, and I actually know one girl who's trying to fix people's smiles. For most of us, brushing our teeth is a part of our daily routine, but for some people across the world, they do not have the luxury to do so. That's why a special young girl is helping those in Mexico one bag at a time.
I should come up with something to help out.
A summer mission trip sparked 15-year-old Gracie Petry to take action.
It confirmed it for me, and I knew this is what I want to do.
The first-hand experiences hit Gracie in an impactful way.
But while we were there, we ran out of toothbrushes and toothpaste and stuff like that, and we went to the store to go get some, but like some of the stores didn't even have any.
After returning from Mexico, Gracie created the Smile Pack. In each individual Smile Pack goes a tube of toothpaste, a toothbrush, and a pack of floss. Her vision is to do something from home while also getting the community involved.
Usually people donate toothbrushes, toothpaste, and floss, but the travel side stuff.
It's literally in her blood to help those with dental hygiene issues.
My dad is an orthodontist. I have 2 uncles that are dentists, so.
Gracie says without going on the dental mission trip, Smile Packs would not have been created.
The people there don't learn growing up how important dental hygiene is, so that's kind of how I started the Smile Pack.
For people considering a mission trip, Gracie encourages them to just go.
So I was really scared at first. I didn't want to go because I'd never done that before. But once I went and I was there, I was like, oh, this is fun, and you're helping people.
At the end of the year, she hopes to have over 1,000 Smile Packs made.
I'll just send it with them, the next people that are going to the clinic, and then they'll hand them out.
And she feels there's more to come with these special care packages.
I didn't think that it would expand this much so fast, but I do see it growing, and this is just the beginning.
If anyone wishes to donate items for Gracie's Smile Packs, you can do so by sending them to Petry Family Dentistry in Lafayette, located at 2900 Marsh Street, Suite D. More on Acadiana News 1, a certain GPS device may come as a relief to a specific group of patients and their families. And a charter school helps build students' confidence in reading. We'll be back after the break. Stay with us.
Red hat. Oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants. Oops.
I understand. I know it's not your typical resume.
Okay, well.
But candidate. But I've been working double shifts just to pay for books. I've been raising my 2 little brothers. I'm determined, driven, motivated. Isn't that what you're looking for?
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
Welcome back to Acadiana at your service. You know, Camry, the segment we're doing today just goes to show that there's a lot of good people left in the world.
You're right, and sometimes you don't know all the good that people are doing until attention's brought to it, you know?
Right. The mission of the Autism Society of Acadiana is to support families of individuals with autism spectrum disorders. The organization is raising money to purchase GPS tracking devices that will further help them in their efforts. Merlin George has a story.
Children with autism have a much greater risk of wandering or separating from their parents.
Some kids with autism have a tendency just to run. They catch a scent, they catch an idea, and they got to go with it. And that doesn't mean all kids with autism do this, but there are a good many.
Robin Blackwell works at the Autism Society of Acadiana. She says it is common for children with autism to run.
We've had some incidences in the past, including here about 2 years ago, where a young child went missing, just took off, and it did not end well. It ended with the child's death.
Their solution would be to use Angel Sense tracking devices, which will be used to monitor their movements and observe their tendencies if left unsupervised.
The Autism Society of Acadiana applied for and received a grant from the Stuller Foundation to provide Angel Sense GPS trackers for kids, for our members who have children with autism that have a tendency to run off, to elope.
Blackwell hopes that they will raise enough money in time to match funds and purchase the life-saving devices.
We're close to raising the $9,350 that we need to match the Stuller Foundation donation. With that, we will purchase at least 80 GPS trackers, Angel Sense GPS trackers, plus 3 months of service for each family.
For Acadiana News 1, I'm Merlin George.
Louisiana's education scores are dropping each year. While some school districts are adding reading intervention to boost scores, Kinder Discovery is making its mark on students' futures.
The story about a big, giant green and orange pumpkin.
Adrianna is a student at Kinder Discovery Health Sciences Academy. When she started the school year, she was behind in reading. Now, almost 4 months into the school year, she's reading 2 grades above the state's requirements.
It's just very unique for us, though. Like I said, a lot of schools don't do it this way. They don't. The interventionist just goes in and makes sure that they're on the computer and they're doing the computer program. And like that's not human interaction.
Raquel Fitzmorris is the reading interventionist for kindergarten through 3rd grade. She works hands-on with over 50 students, teaching them according to their learning style.
Where's the word pumpkin on that page?
Right here.
Wow. Do you know all those letters?
P-U-M-P-K-I-N.
It's a lot of motivation, a lot of encouragement, and I think that's very important for us and for them.
Well, when did you start reading?
When I was 5.
And how old are you now?
6.
And you can remember this whole book, and you're only 6?
It's just we do a lot for what they are needed, you know. So that's very unique. In parish school, they have to get whatever they get, whatever they're told to do, whatever is the best that they need to do. That's how they do it, and we just have so much support. It helps them out so much. The growth that they do is amazing.
How many times have you read this one?
1 time.
You read it once and you remembered all of that? That's crazy. When did you get so good at reading?
I don't know.
Kinder Discovery is a charter school that has consecutively earned an A in school performance. The school focuses on developing strong, confident, and independent learners. For Acadiana News 1, Erin Calderera.
St. Thomas More, a local high school, is more than a place for education. That story next.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
45 over 92.
180 over 111. I had a heart attack, a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a heart attack or stroke are far from invisible or silent. Get back on your plan or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
St. Thomas More is not just a school, it is a family and a community of offering multiple different ways for students to get involved since 1982, when the school first started. Haley Gonzalez takes us on a tour of the school.
Hi, I'm Kelly Lacy, principal. Welcome to St. Thomas More. Come on in.
St. Thomas More is not just a school, it's a family. You know, we've worked really hard to build a school community where our students are challenged to grow spiritually, academically, physically, and artistically, and all within a loving, nurturing, and safe environment for our students.
Cougar Cast is a student-run broadcast that we have at St. Thomas More. It started 3 years ago, and basically our purpose is to be the news source on campus. And we have a show every Friday morning, and so we have to really work together really closely. It's hard. We spend many hours and afternoons working on our episode to make sure it's the best it can be.
There was a group of students a while back that wanted to add something to the amount of clubs that we have at STM, and they wanted to do a fishing club. My favorite experience probably is waking up in the morning on the day of a tournament, putting on my jersey and getting out there and representing my school and just working as hard as I can to get our popularity up as a school.
So the STEM Club was all about, we wanted to get kids that weren't in STEM classes, like engineering and computer science, doing STEM projects, because they were interested in them. We had freshmen, we had sophomores, even seniors that couldn't take the classes that wanted to do the projects. So the whole idea was, let's bring this to them. Let's give them a way to participate in STEM that they couldn't otherwise.
We have a really good program over here, and when I was a sophomore, we won a state championship, and we just have the culture of just giving it your all every play and demanding perfection for ourselves. All the wins and the state championships are nice, but I think the thing I'll remember most is all the friendships I've made and all the lessons I've learned during this game.
I'm a part of the St. Thomas More competitive dance team, and we've won 4 consecutive years in a row in Palm in the nation.
Probably my favorite experience was the homecoming pep rally, and we were outside, so that made it a lot more fun, and we got to perform with varsity, so we had this whole big dance, and it was just really cool.
Bye guys, thanks for coming. Remember that our door is always open and you are welcome anytime.
When it comes to football, some believe that the only way to be recruited is to either play for a powerhouse program or play in a large city. But one local recruit shows us that hard work can be recognized and rewarded. Ethan Dumas has the story.
New Iberia is home to the Yellow Jackets and their standout football player, Jabraylin Spencer, who fell in love with the game at an early age.
First year playing football, I was 8 years old. It started right here. Followed a little rec league, Pee Wee league, played there till I was like 14.
Although Spencer flashed potential in rec leagues, his future coach Rick Hudson knew the young man needed to dedicate himself completely.
How serious he took preparation in terms of workouts and things like that, that I don't think he really understood the importance of that until going into his junior season.
Spencer filled any gaps of leisure time with football.
Usually on the weekends, when I'm just relaxing, I'll go out, drills like using my hands because I'm a pass rusher.
With the newfound focus, Spencer exploded his junior year for 71 tackles and 9 sacks, which would eventually get him noticed by college programs.
The summer coming into my senior year, after I hit up a bunch of camps after that summer it just exploded.
It was not just universities who wanted an answer.
Everybody wanted to know like when I was going to commit, where I was going to commit to, but I just waited until it was the right time.
But through the whirlwind of the recruiting process, Spencer opted for the school that gave him his first scholarship offer and the most attention.
That was home. It was really home, like 15 minutes away from where I'm actually living. It's a family environment over there. I feel comfortable with all the coaches, cool with some of the players on the team. That's just where I want it to be.
Normally, Jabraylin is on the field practicing with teammates, but due to an ankle injury, he will be on the sidelines come this Friday.
The eye-opener for me, like every little thing counts.
Spencer will return later this season to finish his high school career and is excited to run out of the tunnel in Acadian's uniform in 2019.
It's going to be exciting for me. It's going to be a big step for me, knowing that I'm actually playing college football now, because that was one of my dreams growing up.
Spencer has advice for anyone pursuing college athletics.
Student athlete, students always first, so that's the most important thing.
I'm Ethan Dumas with photographer Donovan Obear for Acadiana News 1.
We are only days away from a full month of celebrations, gift giving, and lots of great food. The holiday season is coming up and we're working on a special newscast.
We would love to see you and your furry family members all dressed up for the holidays. Email us a photo of you and your pet by November 27th.
Please include your name, your major, your pet's name, and the type of pet. You can email us your photos at acadiananews1@gmail.com.
We'll see you guys back next time for our holiday segment.
Thanks for joining us.